Hi, I'm Nicole with Realty Masters. I've been a licensed real estate agent and property manager for nearly 20 years. Today, I want to talk about pricing your rental property. First, let's talk about how not to price your home. It can be frustrating to price your home if you're not a market expert, but using one of these strategies will not set you up for success. Our investor clients are looking at performas, cap rates, and desire a certain net operating income in order to make their investment work. Whereas our first-time landlords are just looking to cover their expenses and maybe make a little cushion to cover maintenance. We understand that your financial goals are important and would encourage you to consider that in the formula of setting your rental rate, but we cannot solely base your rental rate on your expenses or your desired cap rate. In order to accurately price your home, you have to consider current market conditions. Real estate is hyper-local, so your current market conditions where you may live has nothing to do with what's going on in the market here in Pensacola. Real estate professionals, what we look at are market data statistics, and we're looking at days on the market. We're tracking that over time. We're looking at what has rented comparable to your property in the last few months. We're also looking at absorption rate, how many months supply on the market, and what is supply and demand for your property today. So there's a lot of data that goes into pricing your property, and considering the local market conditions is the #1 starting point when pricing your home. Also need to take into account the current vacancy rate and what your need for income is. So if you need to cover your mortgage payment immediately with these funds, then you should go on the less aggressive side of pricing. Next, we want to consider your property. So every property is different, and we need to compare rents for properties that are like kind. Some of the main factors are going to be bedroom, bathroom, square footage, any amenities like a fenced yard or neighborhood pool, and the location. Location is key in real estate, not only the area in town, the neighborhood, but also the properties immediately surrounding your property. Those affect the value greatly. So we're going to look at your home and see if it's remodeled. Is it in need of remodel? A lot of the investors have come in and they have remodeled their properties, and they're getting maximum rent for those homes. If your home is with an 80s fridge and wallpaper, then obviously you're not going to get as high of a rent. Now that we know about market conditions in your property, we're going to use our tools to set a price range for your home. Without visiting your property, it is hard to nail down an exact rental rate. However, we're happy to provide a free price range on our website, and just go to PensacolaRealtyMasters.com for all Pensacola area rentals and landlords. We offer that service. And what we use is the Pensacola Multiple Listing Service that has the largest amount of accurate data in our area. We also utilize Zillow. One of the things that we see people doing wrong when pricing is looking at active Zillow listings only to see where their property should be priced. Now keep in mind, while we do consider available alternatives, as that is important, we do not base the rent specifically off what's active and available, because those are properties that have not rented. We want your property to rent, and so we're going to use the rented data in order to come up with those figures. But it is important to know the number of available alternatives when pricing your property, as those are other properties that it's basically competition that your tenants could rent instead of your home. So there are important factors like how many available homes are in a specific neighborhood or complex, as that will affect your value too. Let's talk about the dangers of overpricing real quick. The last few years we have tried a price to see if it would work, and it has. I do feel like those days from right now are ending with the seasonal slowdown. The major one that we see is that tenants feel like there is something wrong with the property. We also see this in real estate sales, that it goes stale after a certain amount of time on the market. Your biggest opportunity is right when the property goes live. The first week is when you want to secure a tenant or a buyer. And if you are overpricing your home, you're going to miss the majority of traffic that your home gets being promoted as a new listing. An example, say that you would like to get $2,500 for your house, but it sits for 2 months because the real probable rental rate is $2,000 a month. So you may think, well, I'm losing $500 a month, but what you're not thinking about is that you're actually losing $2,000 a month, the lost rent that you would have if you had a tenant in place. There's also carrying cost with a vacant property, like lawn maintenance, utilities, the dangers of vandalism or theft, an issue with your insurance company. We see with overpricing is that tenants tend to vacate earlier. They tend to break their lease when they realize that they're paying $300 more than their neighbor, or that they can find a house for less. So they're less inclined to, number one, renew, but number two, even finish their initial lease term. So if you factor that into what it's really costing you to overprice your home, then you're definitely losing, as now you have new vacancy, turnover, maintenance, and the cycle starts again. So we always recommend putting the price that will rent it to a quality tenant and right away. Recommend hiring a professional realtor or property management company, or someone who's both, to help you lease your home. Not only do we know how to price properties, but we also know how to screen tenants properly. There's no point in pricing your home right if you're going to rent it to a tenant who is not going to be able to make the payment monthly. We have tools that we use to screen tenants and to do it better than the average landlord. So one of the things that we have noticed lately as tenants are stretching their monthly budget is that people are lying in the application process. That is something that we're trained to deal with and can avoid you falling victim to someone like that. So anyways, if you have any questions about Pensacola property management or pricing your home, please do reach out. Have a great day.